So in this video we're going to do a little exploring, but first I wanted to show some of the new features that I've been working on. This first one here is dash, and you can see here if I use it over and over again it starts to lose its zip a little bit. It doesn't go as far. It also doesn't cost as much mana. Another new feature is this mana bar down here. It fills slowly, and when it gets completely full it hides itself, just so it's not in the way. And you can see it, now that we've waited a little bit since dashing last, it goes pretty far again. I've made a lot of polishing to the lighting system, so as you move around things illuminate smoother just to make it less jarring. All the projectiles now actually produce light, so I can shoot this fireball off and it'll illuminate everything as it goes. And that applies for all the projectiles. They're all little provide a little bit of illumination here. Now if I shoot this missile here, you can see it'll actually stick to the wall if it hits a wall, and it'll provide illumination there. So that's a good way when you're exploring to, you know, check out the area in front of you so you don't run into any surprises. And another change that I've made recently is to how the camera works. So previously I had a system with 2 layers of boxes and bounds, and that got kind of complicated and it wasn't really achieving what I wanted. So now there's a target position for the camera, and then the camera's actual position sort of trails it. The actual position of the camera is the blue dot there. And depending on how far away from the character your cursor is, that will determine where the target position is. So the net effect here is the camera can actually get out a little ways ahead of the character, which I found is often what I wanted when, you know, going down a long hallway. I wanted more of the screen space to be taken up with where I was headed rather than behind me. Now you can still, if you're moving and you have the cursor just a little bit ahead of the character, you can see the camera's position is really close to the character. But then if you move it far out, you know, it gets further ahead of the character. And I have the 2 tiers here with the target and where the camera actually is to make it smoother, so there's never any kind of jarring transitions. You can also pan around, but obviously you can't get outside of this little box. And these are all debug visualizations. I'll turn them back off now. So I want to check down these hallways using the missile here to make sure they don't sneak up on me. And you can see the mana bar goes away as it fills back up. And the same goes for the health bars. You don't see the health bars right now because there's nothing. Oh, there we go. Let's get away from him. And he has a silly little death animation. It's very dramatic. So the purpose of the dash becoming less and less effective as you use it is to sort of give you an intuitive way to know what the cooldown is. In a lot of games, there, you know, you have cooldown or you have ammo, but you have to stare at the heads-up display to be able to tell how much you have left. And with this system where it slowly decays, it makes it so that you don't, you know, have to have your eyes glued on the heads-up display. You can just kind of get a feel for how much you have left. So I also slowed the arrows down from the skeletons to make it easier to dodge, easier to block, because I don't want this to be a game where you're just trading blows with your opponent. I want you to be making decisions and actively, you know, avoiding damage and that kind of thing. So I set it up so that the big guys move a little slower, but they have more health. And then the little guys, they'll come at you faster, but they also die quicker. And I'm just going to turn off the shadows and unlock the camera real quick so you can get a sense for what the level looks like and what all the procedural generation looks like. You can see skeletons and these dudes that I'm calling goons sitting around here. And so the way this algorithm works is it carved out a bunch of rooms, and then it would use the path planning system to, well, it'll keep adding hallways until there's a path that can be planned to each room that was carved out. And I plan on the next thing I want to do is make it so that there's different floors, so you can take stairs up to the next level, so you can, you know, have increasingly difficult bad guys to fight and that kind of thing, and you level up and do some upgrades next, I think. So that's mainly what I've been working on. A lot of lighting and camera work, and a system for abilities where it's really easy to make new abilities and plug them into a character quickly, and make it so that the abilities are not specific to a character. So I could add this dash ability to these goons, and it would be just as usable because there's no code for the wizard class that actually does any of the dashing. It's all self-contained in the dash ability. But anyway, so next time may have inventory stuff to show you, a new inventory system. Probably do upgrades and that kind of thing too. So thanks for watching.